guys, I'm Ellen, and we are still making the chicken chipotle nacho dip. This is part 2, and as the air fryer is still counting down, right now it's got about 15 minutes, I'm going to start the second part of this recipe, okay? And that begins with the classic batter bowl. All right, so our batter bowls, we have 2 sizes, and this is the large batter bowl, or we call it the classic batter bowl. It's 8 quarts. Does come with a handle, and it comes with a pouring spout. This is an excellent feature. The measurements do not wash off. They are embossed. So let's see if you can see it. Yep, see it right there? So the measurements are embossed on the glass so they don't wash off, which is really, really nice. It does come with a lid. Secures right on top. Keep in mind the lid is plastic, okay? So this is heat safe. You can actually bake in this in the oven. This is not, okay? So don't put it on the stove. Don't put it in the oven. It's not heat safe, okay? So setting this to the side, I have in here some cream cheese. Oh, by the way, don't worry about the recipe. You'll have access to the recipe after this entire video is finished, okay? So I have cream cheese, a whole block of cream cheese. And I am going to put in about 1.5 tablespoons of the Chipotle seasoning, okay? So this is 1 tablespoon. Switch it up to, there we go. All right. Now, I'm gonna put it in the microwave uncovered for about a minute, but I'll be checking it 30 second increments. Okay. Okay. So, did you know that 65% of your time in the kitchen is spent on prep work? It is true. Yep. Because if you actually get the prep work out of the way, the actual cooking itself is really, really quick. So in this case, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start prepping, okay? Let's start with the green onions right here. Cutting board. What I have on here is Baker's silicone mat. And I love this mat, guys, okay? It's great if you are baking and you want to roll out a dough and then you have to transfer the dough from here to the pie pan. You actually use this to help you remove the dough. But I go a step further than that. This is an extension of my my countertop for me. So even though my cutting mat sits on top, because remember, you cannot cut on top of this silicone mat, okay? So I put the cutting mat on top, but you can see that the silicone mat goes further out. And that's because if I place things down, I know it's still on the mat. If things go off of the cutting board, I know it's still on the mat. Okay? So it's just kind of peace of mind. Plus 2, sometimes if I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking with more than one person, myself, if somebody else joins me in the kitchen and they need the counter space, I can actually take all of this and move it to somewhere else. Okay? So, let me rinse this off. Okay. I'm just going to cut this in chunks. Okay? Because what I'm going to do is throw this in to the manual food processor right here. Now, can I just use my knife and cut it all? Sure, of course I can. But this is Pampered Chef. I would like to show you as many products as I possibly can because it may inspire or help you in the kitchen, okay? So, let's put this in there. Let me check the microwave. This is a mini mix and scraper. Oh yeah, this is good. Okay, it's nice and melted. Okay. All right. Oh, you guys, this smells so good already. Okay, so if you guys can hear that little beeping sound in the background, that's the air fryer. The air fryer is telling me, if you need to, you can go ahead and switch the trays, rotate them, okay? And I'm gonna do that. So, I'll take my gloves. I'm gonna open it, okay? I'm just going to rotate this. So I take the top tray, rotating it to the bottom. Take the bottom tray and put it on the top. Okay? Voila, that's all I did. I opened it, switched it, closed it, and it continues. Okay? I noticed that it usually kind of gives you a heads up between 10 and 13 minutes. Usually around half the time that it's set for. Okay? So, all right, continuing on. So this cream cheese mixture, we're just going to set it to the side because this is put together, and we're going to continue with prepping other things, okay? Bring the manual food processor out. I have green onions in here. I have some cilantro. So I'm going to take the cilantro, I'm going to put it in here as well. Put the lid back on. If you have the salad and berry spinner, Pampered Chef, this looks exactly the same, except this is such a smaller lid. The salad and berry spinner is much bigger like this, but it operates just the same. You unlock with the palm of your hand. You're going to push down, okay? Oh, make sure that this is connected to the center, okay? Here we go. Okay? So, use the palm, not your fingers. Because if you use only your fingers, it'll stress out your wrist and everything else, okay? Use the palm and push down. I find that if you do short, fast pulses, you get better results that way, and you're not going to be as tired as you could be if you did this. You'll be here all day, okay? So we don't have all day. So, okay. So what I did was I mixed it all up, chopped it up, okay? I'm going to go for a little bit more. All right. Okay. Now when you clean this up, just know that this lid is not dishwasher safe, okay? What you want to do is just kind of tilt it underneath the faucet. Give it a nice rinse and you're done. That's all you need to do. Don't put it through the dishwasher, okay? Because this, it has gears inside, just like a wristwatch. You have gears in it, so if the water gets in it, sometimes it could prevent it from working correctly, all right? So you take this out. This is dishwasher safe, and the bowl is too. All right. I'm going to take half of this and put half of it in here, all right? I'm going to reserve the other half for garnishing right after, all right? Okay, here's another thing. I'm using peppers. The recipe calls for red peppers. I have yellow and orange already prepped, ready to go from a previous recipe. So I'm just going to take this, dump it in. It calls for one red pepper, but I had a little bit of orange and yellow. So that's what I have, and that's what I'm using. Okay, mix it up. And then, I think the last and final thing to actually prep is the cheese. Now, with the cheese, I use the veggie stripper. This veggie stripper is amazing, you guys. You can take zucchini, squash, carrots, whatever, potatoes, and all you do is run it up and down, okay, forward and back, and you will end up with strips, long strips. So if you want shorter strips or if you want that grated look, just cut your fruit or vegetable. Okay? In this case for cheese, I cut it in small blocks just like this. And I take it and run it up and down. And you can see the cheese fall on the bottom, okay? This veggie stripper is completely plastic, so you can put it in a dishwasher. It's really, really easy to clean, to use. As you get really down to the small part, please be careful. Even though it is plastic, you can still get a fingernail or two in your recipe. So don't rush it. And if it gets down too close, just eat it. Just eat it, okay? Okay. All right, that's done. Okay, at this point, I'm going to take half of my cheese mixture and I'm going to put it in here. That's why I love a flexible cutting board, okay? Then I'm going to finish out the other section of the cheese for after. Okay. So after this is done, the chicken will be ready from the air fryer. I'll take it out, chop it up, and then come back. Okay. So I'm going to finish this out, and we'll be right back.